When the Fellowship emerged from Moria, they were no longer whole. Gandalf's fall was not merely the loss of a leader. The group's balance, morale, and sense of direction had been swallowed by darkness with him. No one spoke loudly. Everyone was thinking the same thing. If even Gandalf could fall, was this mission truly possible? When they reached the forest of Lothlorien, the light and silence of the elves brought them brief relief. They were brought before Lady Galadriel. She spoke little. Yet when her gaze fell upon each member of the Fellowship, it felt as though she could see into the deepest corners of their souls. Her eyes moved from one to the other. Then she looked at Frodo. For him, her gaze was almost unbearable. Even the ring seemed to stir uneasily. Later, she summoned him to the mirror of Galadriel. Frodo looked. He saw the Shire, but not the Shire he knew. Trees were cut down. Smoke rose into the sky. The green hills were scarred and wounded. Then he saw the eye, blazing, searching, unblinking. He turned to Galadriel in fear. She offered him a choice. If you ask it of me, I will take the One Ring. For a moment, the forest darkened. The air grew heavy, and Galadriel changed. She became suddenly vast and terrible, beautiful yet dreadful. Not a queen of light, but of absolute dominion. In that instant, Frodo saw what she would become if she took the ring: worshipped, feared, unstoppable. Instead of a dark lord, you would have a queen. But the moment passed. Galadriel closed her eyes, and when she opened them, the terrible vision was gone. I passed the test, she said softly. I will diminish, and go into the west. It was not weakness. It was the greatest strength in Middle-earth, the power to refuse power. Yet peace did not last. For the true danger was not outside them, but within. The ring. With each passing day, Frodo Baggins felt its weight more heavily. It was no longer merely an object in his pocket. It had become a voice echoing in his mind. It promised power, deepened fear, and fed his loneliness. At night, he would wake and stare at it. He wanted to put it on, and feared doing so. But Frodo was not the only one affected. Boromir was fighting a battle within himself. War raged on the borders of Gondor. His people were dying. Their cities were falling. And here he was, walking toward the heart of darkness behind a small hobbit. To him, the ring was not a curse, but an opportunity, a source of power that should be used. One evening, he found Frodo alone. At first, he spoke calmly. He spoke of the white towers of Gondor, of his father's expectations, of the suffering of his people. There was desperation in his voice. Then his tone shifted. He said the ring could be a weapon. It could be used against Sauron. They could even win. Frodo stepped back. In Boromir's eyes there was no longer hope, but desire. The ring served no one. The ring chose its master. For a brief moment, Boromir lost control. He demanded the ring. He tried to take it. It was a moment of betrayal, and of tragedy. For Boromir was not evil. He was desperate. And the ring fed on desperation. In fear, Frodo put on the ring. The world faded at once. Sounds grew distant. He had become invisible. He fled and climbed a high hill. Below, he saw the Fellowship. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli were speaking. Merry and Pippin looked around anxiously. They were still united. But the ring had divided them. In that moment, Frodo understood the truth. This burden could not be shared. Sooner or later, the ring would claim them all. Just as he made his decision, orcs attacked. The Fellowship leapt to defend themselves. Aragorn drew his sword. Legolas released arrow after arrow. Gimli swung his axe. Merry and Pippin were captured. Boromir fought alone to protect the two hobbits. Arrows rained down upon him. One pierced his shoulder. Then another. And another. But he did not retreat. He fought until his final breath. When Aragorn reached him, Boromir lay covered in blood. There was regret in his eyes. I have failed, he said. He apologized for not saving Gondor. Aragorn took his hand and told him that Gondor still stood. Boromir closed his eyes. The price of the ring was heavy. Meanwhile, Frodo had made his choice. He went down to where the boats were. He would go to Mordor alone, so that no one else would suffer because of him. But one person refused to accept that. Samwise Gamgee followed him. As Frodo pushed the boat away, Sam ran into the water. He could not swim. But he did not turn back. "I can't come without you, Mr. Frodo," he said. Frodo pulled him into the boat. This is the heart of the story. Not great armies, but loyalty will save the world. The fellowship was now truly broken. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli set out in pursuit of the captured hobbits. Their road would lead them to Rohan. Frodo and Sam, two small silhouettes against the vast world, began walking eastward toward the shadow of Mordor. This was no longer a story of unity. It was a story of endurance, sacrifice, and friendship. And the darkness had not yet revealed its true face.